Hey everyone, Anna here. If you're new to my channel, I'm an absolutely obsessed rock climber who also happens to really enjoy making videos. I thought I'd do something a little different this week and break down my projecting process. As some of you know, slab is my favorite style of climbing. When this week's World Cup problem at my home gym felt plausible, I got motivated to whip out my camera and start filming. Sidebar, I'm emphasizing this point because I know it's easy to see videos of people climbing and assume it's this effortless process, but really we all have bad days, and moreover, who wants to start filming when they feel shitty? So not only did I feel great, but I also had attempted the start of this problem for probably 20 or 30 minutes prior to even pulling out the camera, because I wanted to feel confident that I could make a few moves before committing to a video. Okay, let's dive in. Hangar 18 Orange has this tradition of setting a new competition-style slab climb each week called the World Cup Weekly. The problem difficulties vary and are never disclosed, so I'll let you take your best guess on what this butte goes at. Let's break this down even more. Slab climbing refers to the angle of the wall. A slab wall is tilted back at an angle less steep than vertical. Slab climbing, for this reason, favors balancy, technical movement, and has earned a nasty reputation for causing physical and emotional pain to myriad climbers around the world.
Oh! Yes! Woo!
Jesus.
It strikes fear into the hearts of many, as a single millimeter of muscle tension in the wrong direction can result in a proper cheese grade, or scraping your way down the wall as you fall. The start of this climb is marked by fluorescent pink tape, one strip for each limb that must establish on the hold it's behind. Which limbs are up to you, and this is sometimes a part of the puzzle. The end is similarly marked with two strips. The climber must have both hands on the finish hold and show control in that position. After my friend Ryan and I aggressively brushed the volumes, those pyramids that look more like extensions of the wall rather than holds, in an attempt to increase friction, I chalked up and gave the problem a go from the start. Usually on limit problems, I'll try to break down the climb into sections. I'll try it from the start and see where I get to. Wherever I fall first marks the end of that first section. Then I'll take some time at where I fell to unlock the puzzle move and get it all dialed. If I manage to figure out that move, I'll keep climbing until the next time I fall, and repeat the process until I have overlapping chunks of the climb solved. Then I'll begin giving the climb solid attempts from the start to try to bag this end. To establish, I put my right hand on the side pole, my left hand pressed down on the lower volume, my right foot on a decent edge, and my left foot on another decent edge. It wasn't so tricky, although I did fall once establishing and chunked off a good finger-sized bit of my shin on the volume, which actually really still hurts. The first crux, or bump in the road, was figuring out where to place my left hand on this higher volume. Although it's pretty big, the angle makes it nearly impossible to hold. Ryan and I found that if you sink down at the tip of the volume and try to get as perpendicular as possible to the top angle, so like as much downwards and inwards force as I could make with my body. I actually did this by bending my arm at 90 degrees and keeping my shoulders super engaged. So if you do this, the hold becomes good enough to switch feet. Once feet are switched, the left wrist feels twisted and tweaky in this position, so I lowered my body down by straightening my arm and bumping to the right side of the volume in a guppy or meat hook kind of grip. This gave me enough length to stretch my right foot to one panel on this lower right volume. With enough tension, I was able to match my feet on this side panel and hug my right foot over the corner and onto a small nubbin that was much greasier and smaller than anyone wanted it to be. Now came the biggest crux of the whole climb, which was figuring out how to span my right hand to the larger right volume complex. It was one of those static yet dynamic moves where you have to use every muscle to control your movement until you've made it far enough to the left, and then use a small dynamic pop to press against the nubbin on the right side. What ended up being key to this movement was trusting that slippery, sloper nubbin I was perched on with my right foot, using my right hand to start pushing on the edge it was previously pulling on, and pinching the shit out of the upper volume with my left hand. With a small push from my left leg into the wall and to the right, I was able to fall into the press. Next, it was time for my flexibility to shine. I immediately bumped my left foot up to gain more stability in this awkward press position. There were two small nubbins on the large volume complex my right hand was on. I tried a hand foot match on the lower nubbin, which worked, but ended up being really finicky. So a few attempts later, I realized I could bump my right hand to the second nubbin to make the step up significantly easier and more consistent. Pressing my left hand down on the lower left volume and pinching the corner of the upper right volume, I was able to step up on my right foot and place a back step. The last crux for me was the finishing move. I realized I was tall enough to lean over and reach the finish hold, which was totally a beta break. But this was terrifying, seeing as I was teetering on a smeary foot and looking straight down at a labyrinth of volumes that would likely meet my face if I were to fall in the final position with both arms outstretched to show control on that hold. So I tried this a few times, I gained courage to do it, and after knowing I could confidently execute these 3 sections, it was time to start giving the climb my send goes. I aggressively brushed every hold I would touch, stood with my arms akimbo in front of a fan in an attempt to become more sticky, and gave the climb all of my focus. These awesome humans literally stood here to stop people from walking in front of the camera because this happened on one of my really close burns. It was actually pretty hilarious. I feel like it's the most frustrating and exciting time when you know you can send, but haven't done it yet. I knew I was really close, so I ended up giving myself a few minutes to rest. I drank some water, I snacked a little bit, and then I came back, and this is my send go. I hope you enjoyed this little inner monologue of my process. I really enjoyed making this video. It's kind of cool to break down climbs so analytically. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment. Let me know if you like this style of filming, if you want me to set up a camera on more of my solo sessions and break down climbs. Yeah, I love feedback. I love making videos, so I hope to see you next week. Bye.